Imagine you're the queen. Like, you never have a moment alone to fart.
Yeah.
Like, you'll have all the people working for you in Buckingham Palace. Somebody gets a video of the queen farting and sends it to TMZ. Oh my god, imagine the bank you would make. You don't think TMZ is going to run like, queen farts, royal flatulence, more at 11.
Yeah, we're gonna take it up a few notches right now. See if y'all can keep up.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 17 of the ScruffCast. I'm John.
And I'm Dan.
Now, Dan, you've been a little bit fired up this past week because you got something you want to go into.
I do. It's a movie recommendation. I know it's like insane to be fired up about a movie, but my sister and her boyfriend told me about this movie, and it's so good I have to share it on the podcast. It is The Greatest Showman. So for those of you who don't know what The Greatest Showman is, it came out in December, I believe, right before Christmas. It's on DVD now, or Blu-ray, or 4K, or
whatever the kids are into
whatever
nowadays.
New technology is out. It's a musical about P.T. Barnum, the guy who started the Ringling Brothers Circus. It's a fantastic movie. If you like musicals, check it out. The soundtrack is amazing. I bought that as well. On CD, of course.
No, we talked about this
yeah,
before.
Didn't steal it from the internet. That's really about it. Go watch The Greatest Showman. It's fantastic. If you like Grease, Grease is a great movie. It's a classic.
All right, the ScruffCast seal of approval.
Seal of approval for The Greatest Showman.
And they didn't even need to pay us to talk about it.
For sure. No.
All right, just nice little, starting off with
That
a
was
little,
it. Just
little upbeat note. I feel like we've kind of had some podcasts where we've delved into negative topics.
We're going to kind of... Oh, boy, I'm stumbling along here.
All righty.
Yeah, we'll try to keep it a little upbeat. That's what I was trying to say there.
Yeah, you come to the ScruffCast for the jolly vibes. It's all about jolly here.
All right.
All right. Now, we're going to get into a little bit of sports here, and I know we have some listeners who are a little wary and they're not huge sports fans, but we're not getting into the nitty-gritty. We're getting into the fun stuff.
It's fun things in sports.
Right,
funny topics.
Do you want to kick off the sports stuff?
Yeah. So I was watching, I think it was a basketball game, the other day, and looking out into the crowd, and I've thought of this before, too. This is kind of a bueno or no bueno, by the way, John. Fan signs at sporting events. So, the fans, they make a sign, they burn it in, woo, they wave it around everywhere. How do you feel about that?
Bueno or no bueno? My thoughts are, if you're in the first row, bueno. I think. But if you're not, then it might be a no bueno. I get it, if you're one of the players on the court or on the ice, if it's hockey or whatever, and you're looking at the crowd, and you might see they have a sign up like, woo, let's go, whatever, or whatever the hell it is. You kind of feel like, yeah, that's cool. They put a sign about me, whatever, I don't know. But if you're not in the first row, then you're just kind of like blocking everybody's view.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're in the first row, or if you're a kid, maybe.
Yeah.
Kids I can give a pass. Kind of.
It's kind of like the whole thing of bringing the glove to the baseball game. I think we talked about this on the podcast too.
You don't want to be the guy.
If you're old enough to buy a beer, you can't bring the glove. You
don't want to be the guy who's balding, running down the row. Oh, I got it.
I know. Number 23, LeBron James, with his big sign.
Yeah.
No, it's a no bueno for me too. I think even in the first row, I don't like it.
Really?
I don't like it anyway.
No signs allowed.
Nah, I don't like it.
I've seen cases where people have brought signs supporting the away team, or it was actually when a lot of stuff was going down with the Ottawa Senators earlier this year.
Yeah.
Someone brought in a sign complaining about their owner, and the arena staff actually went down to the guy in the seats and made him give his sign to them.
I can't say I'm surprised about that, but for anybody who knows about hockey, then they'll know about that.
Still, if I owned a team and people were bringing in signs that said, like, you suck, I'd be like, you better get down there and take that bitch's sign away.
Unless you really did suck. Which the guy who owns Ottawa does suck. So,
but
he deserves that.
You're coming into my house. You're coming into my house and you're putting up signs about me. No bueno.
Fair enough. Yeah, like I don't like it at all. Like, I don't understand what the point is of having a sign. Like, I love you, LeBron James. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so stupid. Like, I can understand at a concert because you see videos online of like concerts, like people have a sign like, "Hey, can I come play guitar?" And then they bring that person up.
That's actually worked before?
Yeah.
I've never
it
seen
happens.
this.
Yeah, or like, hey, I don't know. Just like different things, right? Where like stuff like that, it's like, hey, could I come sing a song with you? And then, boom, they get taken on stage. That one I kind of understand. But still, you better be like front row. But still, be prepared to be kicked in the back of the head because you're going to annoy a lot of people with that sign.
Yeah,
Bristol board with your markers and your crayons coloring on this Bristol board sign. Stupid. I don't like it. Especially at sports events.
The thing, too, with sporting events, sometimes they're like blocking the camera on TV. And I'm like, sit down.
Yeah, I know. You're watching a hockey game and all of a sudden it's just this neon green swipe that goes through the camera.
Oh, we can't even see and this is in air quotes here, witty stuff on the front of the sign. You just turn around and it's like, go, team, go.
That's the word. If you're going to have a sign, it better be something good, funny, witty, yeah. Because if it's just like, Tyler Bozak, you're my favorite, number 42. Like, oh, get that garbage out of here.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's about all I have to say.
All right, I think that was a double no bueno. I had a little bit of a bueno, maybe if you're in the front row.
I'm 100% no bueno.
We're bringing our own no bueno topics here because sometimes the listeners aren't always reaching us at scruffcast@gmail.com or on Twitter at scruffcast.
But I'm not going to spoil it, but we may have another bueno or no bueno near the end of this thing.
Well, I guess I got to hang on and wait till the end.
Get pumped. It's going to be good. All right, moving on. So again, in sports. So, in basketball, the Cleveland Cavaliers are playing the Indiana Pacers in the first round of the playoffs. So they were tied 1-1 in the series. And LeBron James decided to get everyone on the team matching suits. So, for those of you who haven't seen this, we'll post a picture of everybody on Twitter afterwards. We'll get John to post that. I'll explain it to you. So, the suits, first off, are all silver. They have like a vest on underneath, and they're
silver tie
too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me pull this picture up here. Yeah. So it's kind of like a grayish vest. Yeah, silver tie. And they have these like combat boots, like fancy combat boots, I guess. And the pants are like really short. Like they're, oh boy, that's not even ankle. You're not even at the ankle at that point, because those. I'm looking at the picture now. Those combat boots come up a little high, and then you got these stupid short pants, which that's something I want to pick on here. It's like, what's with the short pants these days?
I don't know. Like, are they shorts? Are they pants? Make up your mind.
Like, you see people walking down the street with the short pants. I don't get it. And like, maybe we're not the people who should be talking about this because we're like, we're not fashionistas. Yeah, but
there you go.
You know what I mean? Like, with a suit though. They're wearing these, and these suits probably like $10,000 each. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's because they're like 7.5 feet tall. They're the longest pants they had.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, oh, I'm sorry, LeBron, we can't get any taller. All right, we'll cut everybody short then.
Well, no, they were actually gonna have regular shoes, but they're like, damn, how are we gonna fill up the rest of the leg? I got it. Let's get some combat boots.
Get these combat boots.
There you go.
That'll come close to reaching the pants. Like they're almost looking like Angus Young from AC/DC, like with the shorts. Like it's almost at that level. Oh, and to top it all off, LeBron James is bringing in a purse as well.
You can't even argue like, oh, it's like a satchel or like a man bag. This is a full-blown purse. You open it up, there's a chihuahua inside, Paris Hilton style.
Oh, it would totally fit in there, too. Like, I've seen my fiance with purses smaller than that.
And when you look in the picture, too, it's the strut he's got going on. He's like, I'm rocking this purse.
Like, just straight up model.
Yeah. We'll definitely tweet this from our Twitter account.
Yeah,
or retweet the official NBA account's tweet that said, today's NBA style. Has a couple pictures of the team here. Rocking these all silver suits.
I think this, even take away how stupid and short the pants are, I think the suits are just hideous looking. And the funniest thing about this is, like, it was all about team unity, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coming together, oh, we're a team. They lost that game after.
Well, there you go. Silver suits don't work. I actually read online that this was pre-planned. They all got tailored for these suits ahead of time.
Yeah. But they wore matching suits to the following game as well. They were black, though.
They learned a lesson. They didn't want to stray.
I don't know if the pants were still
classic
short.
Suit.
But
reading the official tweet here, there's a good conversation and just the replies from the random people on Twitter underneath where one guy says, whose idea was this? And the guy says, it had to be LeBron. And they're like, oh, yeah, I thought so. Might boost the team spirit. And then the guy replies, yeah, the way I dressed my 2-year-old son to match me. No wonder Kyrie left. just a nice conversation back and forth, and the guy throws some snark in.
I know.
And then they continue to say, surprised this isn't more common in U.S. sports. Most big soccer clubs have their players wear their club suit to games, especially away games, big playoff type games. In the U.S., most dudes look like hobos.
No, that's not
Just
true
outright
at all.
slander. Yeah, if you watch the NHL, they always show up in suits.
Yeah, in the NHL you have to show up in suits, but I know in basketball you don't have to. Like the other day, Russell Westbrook wore I think he wore a suit, like a suit jacket with no shirt on underneath.
He's always doing weird stuff. He like shows up wearing these weird wide brim hats. Looks like the Joker at a Batman.
Yeah. But I don't get the short pants, man. Maybe we're just too old, you know. We don't understand.
I think so. We used to be hip, you know, and with it, but then the kids grew up and they changed what it was.
Oh, I tell you what, back in our day, we all had that, you know, the skater hair. Oh, we were all over the skater hair. John had like a skater afro going, but
too cool for Twitter.
The rest of us had this.
I burned all those pictures.
Oh, I think I can find a few.
They're too cool for Twitter, dude.
We were cool. We used to dress cool with the skateboarding shoes, you know. That was the style back then.
That was a style. We could do a whole podcast just on back in the 90s, early 2000s. We should do it as a special episode one day.
Well, I mean, we're not that old.
I know, but just those.
I don't think
those
we were
are fun
dressing in
times.
skater shoes in the late 90s. We were dressing in Velcro shoes.
Yeah, well, the ones with
we were
little
probably tying our
kangaroo
laces
brand on
by
them.
then, but...
Anyways, moving on from all this style, the sports stuff.
Yeah, we gotta... Okay, we're not gonna bring up style ever again on this thing, because...
I don't want to call it a banned topic just yet, because maybe one day we'll have ScruffCast merchandise. You know, some cool ScruffCast shirts or something.
And then you'll see what our style is really all about.
Yeah.
But
anyways, moving on to what would be the biggest and saddest sports news of the week.
Yes.
My beloved New Jersey Devils, unfortunately eliminated in the first round of the playoffs, 4-1 by the Tampa Bay Lightning, best team in the East. So it is only right that we hold a moment of silence for the befallen Devils. All right, time to talk about big Bitcoin heist suspect escapes prison and flees Iceland on PM's plane.
Can I get... Hold on. You ruined the tag right away. I wanted to give it some time to say that one. That's such a funny tagline, and you just threw it out there like it was nothing. Say it again.
Big Bitcoin heist suspect escapes prison and flees Iceland on Prime Minister's plane.
That sounds like it's something straight out of a movie.
Dan, I'm telling you, this is fact, not fiction.
So first off, explain, because there may be some people who don't know what Bitcoin is. Like me, sort of.
There's
I still don't really get it. But
a large majority of our listeners.
Probably. We have some elderly listeners who listen to this podcast.
Yeah, we know you're out there.
Okay, explain what Bitcoin is first off.
All right, so to break it down very easily, Bitcoin is basically, it's what they call a cryptocurrency, in air quotes here. It's a digital currency, right, where all of the transactions are publicly visible and measured on what they call like a blockchain, right, which is just like a public ledger, right? It sort of keeps track of all these transactions. And that's pretty much the simplest way I could break it down.
So if you guys are like me out there, you probably still won't understand what John was talking about, because I do not. But anyway, moving on. So the Bitcoin is like, if I'm getting this right, it's like mined on computers.
Yes.
Okay, so explain this process a little bit, if you can.
Sure. So the thing with Bitcoin is, some guy wrote like a white paper on this idea for this digital currency, like, I don't know, maybe like 8-9 years ago now. And the whole thing is there's a set number of Bitcoin that will ever be made, right? And they're being mined, if you will, by people who are running their computers and doing like these digital computations, right? And every 10 minutes or so, they will solve a math problem, and then, new Bitcoins come into existence, right? That's sort of how they're mined, if you will, right? And whoever's computer is the one that solves that computation or math problem, they're the ones who get those Bitcoin. And then it will keep going on and on until there's a total of 21 million Bitcoin eventually mined. And then that's it. No more after that. So
yeah, go ahead, sorry.
So there's like a scarcity built, or scarcity, if you will, built in to the system, right? So over time, it becomes harder and harder to get new Bitcoin because these math problems get harder and harder. And the rewards for the people who solve them become smaller and smaller. So people have been holding on to some of their Bitcoins, and then the price has gone up and up over time. Like, I believe it was near the end of last year, one Bitcoin was worth like a little over $10,000 US, Right, so these things have some serious value because there's people out there who have holdings of like thousands and thousands of these. So people who have like tens of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoins on the computer.
Yeah. So I don't want to get too far into the whole Bitcoin
Yeah,
thing.
it's just a little breakdown.
Pretty confusing.
But basically, these things are worth some serious money.
Yeah. So anyway, this guy, this Bitcoin heist, what happened was they stole the computers that were mining these. They stole 600 computers in Iceland. So the guy, he got arrested for that. I believe he spent 11 days in jail. He was in custody. Then they moved him to a low security prison 11 days before. He escaped and then somehow was able to get onto the Prime Minister of Iceland's plane and fly to Sweden. Which, like, sounds like this is something just straight out of a movie. Like, it seems like this couldn't happen in real life. But this is Iceland, after all. And Iceland has, like, zero crime. They say this is, like, the biggest crime that's ever happened is this Bitcoin heist.
It's
in
crazy.
all of Iceland, this is, like, the biggest crime.
And he went to the international airport and boarded the plane.
Yeah, using
someone else's passport.
Yeah.
And then the police go on record to say, he had an accomplice. We are sure of that. Yeah, maybe the guy he got the passport from. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just ridiculous. And it just had to be the same plane that the Prime Minister was on. Because that's just the way these stories work.
But, like, doesn't the Prime Minister fly on their own plane?
I would think so.
Look at the President. The President's got Air Force One. You think
Yeah.
the Prime Minister of Canada's flying on WestJet?
No,
Porter?
Dan, our tax money, they got to spend it all up.
He's got to go to India with his family and wear some hijabs, you know? I don't know.
Well, they got to spend our money somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absurd. So they actually issued an international warrant for this guy, but no arrest has been made in Sweden, at least. The plane was actually taking the Prime Minister, I guess, back to Sweden. Then he's flying to India to meet with... India's Prime Minister was meeting with him in Sweden.
Oh, okay.
So this guy, like, he's right on the verge of, like, these international events, right? They're just showing up, he's putting on a suit, and they're paying no mind. Oh, this guy looks Swedish.
Which, in fairness, he does look very Swedish.
Yes. If we have his
He's
name
even got
here.
the two dots over the O in his name.
His name is Sindri Thor Stefansson.
Wait, so who the hell's this guy in the picture? Wait, what's that?
It says Lorreglan. I think that's probably like the date, or it says suspect or something. But in the article, his name is Sindri Thor Stefansson. He's got Thor in his name. That sounds pretty Swedish.
Oh yeah, he does. Stefansson. Looks like a very Swedish name.
Yeah, and this Icelandic Prime Minister, whose plane he boarded, was Katrin Jakobsdottir. With there's a lot of accents going on in that name too.
Just assuming that's how you say it.
That's not an assumption. That's fact.
Maybe if we have some Icelandic listeners, they can,
How many people are there in Iceland? There's got to be somebody there who's listening to this podcast.
There's like a couple 100,000 people in Iceland. There's probably way more than that.
334,000 people.
That's it?
Yeah. So
I was pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
So that just further reinforces the fact that ScruffCast, we don't really need to do any research. You're right. You're almost right on the money there without knowing.
Yeah, there we go. Like what I find like. I lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was going to say now.
Well, just to give you a sense of scale of how much money the Bitcoin this guy managed to steal using these computers, about 1.45 million British pounds.
That's a lot of money.
That's a hefty chunk.
In this fake online money.
Yeah, and like you said, Iceland is not really used to having like such high-profile crimes, if you will. The police described it as a grand theft of scale unseen before, according to Icelandic Police Commissioner Olafur Helgi Kjartansson. This might be a new thing.
You're making me sound like they're Indian people. Like
they're meeting with the Prime Minister. Maybe I've still got that subconsciously in my head.
Yeah. I just like what I find is funny is just like how this is like the biggest crime to ever go down in all of Iceland, which is a good thing, obviously, right? But
it looks like security in prisons is pretty lax there. Somebody on quote in the article here is saying, well, actually, to tell you, it's Helgi Gunnlaugsson, a sociology professor at the University of Iceland, said, prison breaks in Iceland usually mean someone just fled to get drunk. The underworlds are very tiny. It is extremely difficult to hide, let alone flee the country.
But
so people just breaking out to have a drink.
if anyone's interested in doing some bounty hunting, trying to find this guy, the owners of the stolen computers have promised a $60,000 reward to anyone who can lead detectives to the stolen computers.
Because they're going to get those computers back, and then they got $1.5 million pounds worth of Bitcoin.
ScruffCast might be going international once again.
You know, I feel like we have a large enough listener base that if we post this article, we're going to find him just like that.
Boom. Yeah.
Just poof, we got him.
Yeah. We may be taking a trip to Sweden.
Like a ScruffCast bounty hunter service.
Yeah. And we'll take all of our equipment and we'll do a podcast right from there.
Yeah, here it's quite nice. All right, this time of year.
Yeah. Probably a little cold too.
Probably a little chilly, but you know what? We're from Canada. We're used to it.
We can handle it. Oh, John, I don't know if you heard, but the Prince William had a baby today.
Oh my, did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, tell me.
How do you
Dan.
feel about this?
What do I need to know? What did they name the baby? Do you happen to know this?
We're going from fashion to the prince having a baby. It's a very feminine podcast we're getting onto.
I tell you what, the
getting in
ScruffCast
touch
handles
with the
it all.
female listeners.
We already solved gender equality, I believe, 9 or 10 episodes back, Dan. So why can't we tackle these topics?
You're right. So my question to you, John, is why do we care?
Well, we I can only speak about myself.
We
don't really care at all. I mean, okay, I had a baby, big whoop.
Everybody makes such a big fuss about having a baby, which having a baby's great. But why do we care so much about the royal family?
Yeah, this is nothing about like the baby.
It's not the baby.
itself.
Yeah. The baby is good for the baby for being born. But why do we care so much about the royal family? And so we did a little investigating because we were unsure of what power the royal family still even holds in England. So we found a few things, and it's essentially they hold a little bit of power, but the government has like slowly cut them out and out and out and out.
Yeah. They don't really have all that much power.
I guess it kind of just goes back to like, why do we care about Kim Kardashian? You know what I mean? Why do we care about just rich people like that? Why do we care about Paris Hilton?
Well, nobody cares about her anymore. But you think of
15 years ago they did, you know?
Well,
why do people care? Just because they're famous celebrities? I guess it's kind of just the same thing, right?
They're just famous for being famous.
The royal family's still the royal family.
It's like some of those people on YouTube that we're not allowed to talk about anymore.
Yeah. You're right about that.
Yeah, why do we care? I don't know, but I remember when there was the royal wedding was happening, right? And I saw on the... So first off, not only is this like, oh, some big deal, right? And they're covering it on the news.
Yeah.
They're covering the people here in Canada who like took the day off work to like sit at home, or they were like, they gathered to get together at parties to watch. And it's like old ladies who look like the queen, dressed up like the queen.
Yeah, I remember like...
watching these other people get married.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, so exciting.
It was my sister or my mom, I don't remember who it was, PVR'd it. You know how much space that thing took up on the PVR?
Oh my god!
That was before PVRs like were good. So like 4 hours, that was like 90% of your PVR space. I couldn't record anything after that.
Just in case one day you want to reminisce about when they got
married. And then the
married.
4-hour episode of Lost that was on there for 5 years, like that didn't help either. The season finale or series finale.
Dan, all the questions were finally answered by providing more questions with no answers to them.
Now you know.
That was a great show for the first 3 seasons.
I didn't watch any of it.
I thought it was good. I only watched the first 4 seasons. So I take it you're a no bueno on the royal family?
I guess. I just don't understand like why I don't know, but like no, it's a much bigger deal than even the Kardashians, because they have a baby. It's like, oh, the Kardashian had a baby, cool. These have a baby. It's like that's all CNN covers for like a week.
Yeah.
So, oh my god, they had a baby boy. It was 8 pounds 4 ounces. I don't know.
Oh my god, 8 days later, the baby's 8 days old. A miracle.
What's its name?
I have no idea. These are the facts maybe we should know. A live fact check I'm going to do right now.
I will stumble through
Royal baby name. That's the Google search. If
what's
you want to
the other
follow along
baby's name? Monica?
So I'm reading here George Alexander Lewis.
George?
That's the baby they already have.
No.
Yeah, 2013.
No, the baby's a girl, the other baby.
No, this looks like a boy. I'm reading right here. George Alexander Lewis. I just Googled royal baby name. This was born...
is this one a girl?
This one is probably a girl.
Oh, okay.
Royal baby, Duke and Duchess show off new baby. Oh, this is hot off the press, Dan, from BBC only 15 hours ago.
Oh.
A third child. Whoa, they got 3 children.
No.
Yeah, according to BBC.
This is their third kid?
The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have left hospital after the arrival of their third child, a boy.
What? Did I miss a birth of one of these children?
This might be the girl baby you're talking about. And are they not saying the name of the baby here? I can't read anything.
Maybe they haven't chosen a name yet.
Newborn son. No. Oh, it's going all into the depth. We need to know the Duchess wore a red Jenny Packham dress with a white collar. Well, who cares? I guess they haven't revealed the name.
I hate that Jenny Packer anyway.
Yeah. Oh. How much money is she paying them to get them to wear her dress?
You know what I found interesting? I found this diagram online earlier today of how the successors fall in line in the royal family, and so the Queen has now appointed Prince Charles, as the next head, that's her son, right? Yeah, that's her son.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's next in line, and then his kids are William and Harry. So after him, it goes to Prince William. But then after him, it doesn't go to Prince Harry. It goes to his kids.
No, skipping over the brother.
Yeah. Prince Harry's way down the line. Which I don't understand that. Why does Prince William's kids get to go? The kid's 3 years old. What if the rest of them die in a plane crash? Well, you got a 3-year-old's going to be running the royal family?
They're going to start restamping all those quarters, putting his face on them.
I know.
They got to change him every year. He's not going to look the same. The Queen's looked the same for the last 65 years.
Yeah.
I'm reading here that the name of the baby will be announced in due course while a formal notice of the birth has been posted on the forecourt of Buckingham Palace. Sounds like something from 1885.
It must be exhausting being part of that family. Just
you can
all
go
that
anywhere.
shit you got to go through. Everything's got to be done so
so
elegantly
formally.
And yeah.
Imagine you the Queen. You never have a moment alone to fart.
Yeah.
You'll have all the people working for you in Buckingham Palace. Somebody gets a video of the Queen farting and sends it to TMZ. Oh my God, imagine the bank you would make. You don't think TMZ is going to run Queen farts, royal flatulence, more at 11. They're going to be all over that, Dan. All over that. It's big business.
Royal flatulence.
You know what? I think if I were in the royal family, I might just be letting them secretly record me from the other room. Oh no, did you catch a fart? And selling it to TMZ, and we're splitting the money. You'd also get good loyalty out of your workers. Yeah. Oh yeah. Honestly, if we get famous enough,
of a royal flatulence. Oh,
if we get famous enough that the TMZ would care about ScruffCast farts, well, we're all over it, man.
Yeah. Oh, what?
We never found out that middle child, by the way.
Yeah. Try to find whatever. We'll try to find that name too. Why not? That one's a girl. I thought this one was a girl. I thought there was only 2.
I don't know. What? Now I'm reading. What does royal baby mean for the line of the British throne? I don't really know. Coming up with people I've never even heard of. Zara Tyndall, pregnant. What does this have to do with the British royal family? This is from a couple years ago. I don't know. This is just 3-year-old news about family we barely care about it as it is. How we exhausted the topic.
Thanks everybody for listening to John Google stuff on his phone.
You know what, listeners? You picked a good one. You got some good vibes. You're feeling up. This boosted your day for sure.
You know what? When I was reading about what the Queen can and can't do, she can declare war. She's the only person who can declare war, which I thought that was kind of cool. And did you know
we
that
better not make her mad then?
During World War II, she was trained as a driver and a mechanic?
I actually read too that she doesn't even need a license to drive.
Because she's the Queen?
Well, she doesn't need a driver's license. You pull out a coin. She says, "Look at the back," and she smiles. There you go. Oh yeah, it looks like her.
But what if she doesn't know how to drive?
I don't know. I'll be more worried about how old she is.
Well,
how old is the Queen?
She's 92 or 93.
Really?
Oh, yeah, man, she's in her early 90s. Here we go. Googling on the ScruffCast one more time.
Well, we're not Googling, Dan. I was just trying to remember. 92 years old. Oh, dude, April 21st. She just turned 92.
Oh, well, happy birthday to the Queen. And she had a baby. A great...
Not the Queen had a baby. I think the Queen's baby having days are long over.
She's got a great grandkid. When was that kid born? Yesterday? On her birthday? No, it's the 23rd today. Never mind.
Yeah.
That kid was born close to her birthday.
Yeah, we'll do the day after. They'll do a little double birthday party every time.
Oh.
All right, so that ends this week's edition of Queen Talk.
Queen Talk with the Scruffs.
All right, shall we move on?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'll let you take the next one, Dan.
What else do we have? Oh my God, I forgot about this one. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you have heard already. There was a shooting in a Waffle House in Tennessee, and 4 people were killed. And they were able to. I think there was a guy there able to wrestle the gun away from the guy who was shooting everybody. The guy fled, but John, you were saying they caught him earlier today, right?
Yeah.
You want to explain more about the story, or?
Sure. Do you want to read the headline of the story?
No, we'll read that after.
All right. Let me try to skip over some of the stuff that the headline says. Mm-hmm. But basically, 3:25 in the morning, Sunday that just passed, so this would be less than 24 hours now. Actually, no, it would be less than 48 hours now. There was a shooting at a Waffle House in a Nashville suburb. 3 people fatally shot, 4 wounded. And then the suspect fled, described as a white man with short hair. There's not many of those in Tennessee. But eventually they managed to find him. And there you go. That's all. That's pretty much the story.
That's the gist of the story.
This is the breaking analysis people come to the ScruffCast for.
So, the problem I have with this is the article on most of the websites that we've seen is half-naked man kills 4 in Tennessee. And so, like, I don't want to... Like, this is the frustrating part of this article is because, like, it's a sad thing. It's a tragedy, you know?
Yeah,
it's
people
like, this is
got
an
killed.
act of terror. This is terrible. But then they throw half-naked man in there, and it makes me want to laugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got to take this serious. The very first sentence of the story.
I'm trying to take this shooting seriously, and you're telling me he was half-naked shooting all these people? That makes me want to laugh. That's not fair.
The very first sentence of the story is a man wearing nothing but a coat. And then it says shot and killed 4 people. Well, why are you leading in with that fact? Is that really pertinent?
Why wasn't he wearing clothes? Did he feel it was necessary to take his clothes off before killing people?
Maybe he knew he was going to flee, want to run as quick as he could, but then why did he wear the coat?
Okay.
He didn't want them to identify him, because if he wears a coat, everybody's wearing a coat. But if he's just naked, they're going to say naked man fleeing.
It'd be pretty easy to find a naked man running around.
Yeah.
Okay, it's interesting that they said he was wearing a coat because I wasn't sure what he was wearing. And I thought to myself...
Was he going pants and no shirt? Okay. Was he going shirt, no pants?
This is what I thought to myself. It's like, okay, a half-naked woman, you know what I mean? She has no shirt on, she's half-naked. She's got no pants on, but a shirt on, she's half-naked. There's 2 parts that can be naked on a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if one of them's missing, then she's half-naked. Makes sense. A guy, if he wears no shirt, would you say he's half-naked?
Why isn't he half-dressed?
Wearing no shirt, you know? Yeah. What would you say he's just wearing no shirt? He's not half naked, you know?
Sure, you would say shirtless man.
And if he's wearing no pants, you would pretty much just say he's naked at that point. He's showing it all. So, like, I just picture half naked, like, he's got, like, a pair of jeans on, and he just has...
Just hanging out the front?
Just hanging out, just
flopping around.
That's what I picture. He's just, like, our guy's butt hanging out the back of his jeans.
He's got assless chaps on, running into the Waffle House. That's that Tennessee style, I guess.
John, you getting me with the giggles here today, man.
I guess that's that Tennessee style.
We
must have some Tennessee listeners out there.
Oh, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah, so anyway.
Obviously, this is a serious topic.
This is a serious topic.
They're making it hard to handle it.
Because they half-naked man. Well, why? We don't need to know that. You don't need to tell us he was half-naked, because that makes me want to laugh.
And then there's even, like, a video link to, like, a police officer. Or maybe is this a guy who was just a witness? It says, just craziness. Witness recalls seeing half-naked entering Waffle House with assault rifle. They missed the word man there. Well, the fact that man entered with an assault rifle is a terrible thing. Why do they got to throw the half-naked in there? Like, these witnesses are probably like, man, I'm so lucky I got away with my life. And then they're just like, how did you feel watching this guy with his dick flopping all around the waffles?
I didn't know what to focus on, the AR-15 or his pee-pee hanging out. You know, like...
It nearly knocked over my coffee. Like, like anything for a click, man. Like these things are just brutal. Like, and then they go into more details of the actual event that took place, which we must stress again, which is like a terrible event, but look at how hard they made it to handle this seriously because of the way they have to go about reporting.
This is ScruffCast. We handle matters seriously when we have to.
We're trying our goddamn best over here.
This is hard. Oh. Oh, half-naked man kills 4 in Tennessee. See, man kills 4 in Tennessee would be the more appropriate title.
But you know what? People scrolling through Twitter would be like, oh, that's sad. Next. Oh, LeBron James wearing a silver suit. Like that
That's
would be
exactly what happened with
You
me.
put half-naked in there.
half-naked man.
Now all of a sudden, there are articles making the ScruffCast.
Which is sad, because this is a serious thing.
It is.
But, like we said, very difficult to take seriously when they're throwing at us that he was half-naked. So he's kind of like a trench coat guy, you know? Like the guys who just like walk into places and just, whoa!
The flashers.
Flashers. There you go. Should have.
Or maybe like 30 years ago, it would have been like they open up the trench coat and they got all the watches inside. Want to buy a watch?
Yeah, and
Like those guys back in the day.
Want to see my junk?
And I ain't talking about the watches.
Yeah, but anyway, it is very sad, and the ScruffCast feels very bad for all those involved.
Yeah, and there's actually a guy who's inside the Waffle House, wrestled the rifle away from the guy.
Yeah.
And saved a bunch more people from getting injured. And
That
hurt.
guy's cute. That's what the tagline should be.
Yeah, it should be. And this guy looks pretty
Man
young. I think he's
wrestles.
18. Like, this guy looks like he's maybe like 16, 17 years old. He looks really young.
Oh, really?
It should be.
Well, who? Like the guy who wrestled the gun away?
Yeah, the guy who wrestled the gun
Oh,
away.
good for him.
Right? And I see a picture of him here. And he just, he kind of had like a big gash on his arm. But he ended up being okay. He went to the hospital. And that really should have been the headline. Like, people injured, killed at Waffle House, but, a young teen, whatever, helped save lives.
Yeah, helped avoid even more fatalities.
But instead they go for that easy
fatalities.
That easy headline. Half-naked man kills 4 in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Didn't even mention the waffles in the headline.
Making us all have a little chuckle. That's not fair to those people.
Disrespect.
It is disrespectful. Also, there is okay. We'll touch on a more serious topic here. There was that in Toronto today. There was how many people was 16 people?
Yeah, I believe
ran down in a van.
Yeah, a guy.
Just another one of these, terrorist attacks things. Which is sad that we have to say another one of these, but
yeah, I know
what it is. Pretty terrible. We're not gonna really touch on it too much because we don't really know a whole lot of.
Yeah, it just happened
now,
today,
but,
the day we're recording this, which is.
But we figured we might as well
23rd.
make mention of it. Super sad, and I think 9 people so far.
Up to 10 people now.
10.
Actually.
There you go. Super sad. But that's it. So we'll throw that in there after talking about a half-naked man. But we're moving on now.
But you'll see. The articles will, be straight facts on that event. I'm sure.
This has not been our most tasteful podcast we've ever had.
We've been a little all over the place.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. Why did they put it in the article title if they don't want you to talk about it, okay? They know people just read the headlines.
Okay, we're moving on here. We got a listener email. Okay. I guess. I'll read it. Here we go. Hey, guys. Love the podcast.
Wait. What's the subject?
Oh, should I put that?
Yeah.
The brand.
Ooh, now we sound very important.
Hey guys, love the podcast. Can't get enough of it. Just want to know if you guys have any interest in creating content beyond the podcast. Would you enjoy making videos on YouTube or streaming on Twitch? Maybe even live reacting to the games you watch? I guess like sports games. Or launching the ScruffCast post-game show. I'm sure you guys can find a way to make it entertaining. What's Twitch?
So Twitch is a website where you can live stream right to the website, right? Whether it's, I don't know, whatever you're doing, cooking or something. But the large majority of it is people playing video games and streaming on.
Oh, okay.
And people out there make a living just streaming video games, right? And if you're big enough and popular enough on Twitch, people can subscribe to you where they pay like $5 a month to be a subscriber to you, right? Then they get, little new emojis they can post in the chat and stuff.
We got to get on that.
Dude, it is huge.
We'll live stream these podcasts?
We honestly could. But magic like this, we got to make the listeners wait until Tuesday morning.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure you guys can find a way.
Yeah, some people make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. A lot through donations, too. Which is just
we
absurd.
could use some donations coming this way.
Yeah. Hit us up, scruffcast@gmail.com.
Okay, so would we be interested in creating content beyond the podcast?
Well, if you're looking at YouTube, Dan, did you know We're already posting the podcast.
We do
on
have
there.
a YouTube, yeah.
We do.
The ScruffCast, search it. We're on there. But
One
we
word.
just post the audio and a picture that John puts together, which are always creative and fun. But I know like there's a lot of podcasts out there that record themselves, like doing the podcast.
Yeah, doing the actual thing.
And release that. I don't know, maybe eventually we could do something
One day,
like
I
that.
feel like we'd have to hit some sort of milestone
Yeah.
to reveal our faces to the listeners.
Yeah. We got the voices for podcasts, not for video, you know?
Yeah.
Or the face for podcasts. Yeah, you get it.
Yeah, you really want this on video?
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, it's got a bueno or no bueno here. I'm assuming I said he, but it could be a she. Or it could be a they. I'm not going to discriminate against anybody.
Hey, we're not just going to assume your gender in 2018.
No way. No bueno. Okay, bueno or no bueno. Picking teams to cheer for in the playoffs other than your team in case your team doesn't make it to the next round. John?
So I'm going to do something I've never done on the podcast, which is a conditional bueno. Which is a
Okay.
bueno with conditions, obviously.
Oh, that... Okay, I'll let you finish, but I don't like where this is going already.
Well, I don't like this retort to what I'm saying. I'm
Just
not
go
even
ahead
into
and
it.
finish, and I'll...
So I would say it's a bueno, but it depends. You can't just be like, oh, ditch my old team. I'm all in on with this new team, and you act like you've been a fan the whole year. Like, woohoo, Pittsburgh Penguins! I love these guys. No bueno. But you can be like, maybe you're like a team in the Eastern Conference. You can be like, oh, I like this team in the Western Conference. I'd like to see them win. Or if your team loses, you think like, I like this player on this other team. They've been in the league a long time. They've never won the championship or whatever. I would like to see them win.
Yeah,
That's sort of my feelings on it. It's like a conditional bueno. Now, you
right.
had beef with this conditional bueno.
No, I
What are
don't
your
really
thoughts?
anymore. You explained that fairly well. And that's kind of the way I feel about it, too. I think, like, for me, I like to pick a team from the West and the East to kind of go, well, for the longest time, being a Leafs fan, Leafs weren't in the playoffs. So as soon as it got to the playoffs, I had no team in there anyway, so I would just choose one from the East, one from the West.
Mm-hmm.
Now that the Leafs have been in the playoffs, this is the second straight year, I haven't really been doing that. I've kind of just been focusing all my time and energy and onto the Leafs. I don't necessarily cheer for another team, though. Like, it's kind of just like, oh, I'll pick this team and I'll pick that team to go the finals, and we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah, you look at the games and you think, like, I would rather this team win. Like, if I was picking the outcome, this is the team. But I always kind of feel like if a game from another series is on TV and you're watching it, you kind of just feel like a pull, right? Because you're watching and you'll, like, one team is in the other team's zone and you're kind of be like, oh man, they didn't score. And you're like, oh, I guess I'm rooting for this team.
Yeah, it kind of
just
just happens naturally.
Yeah.
I think, too, like, I think when your team's out of it, you almost cheer for stories, not so much teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You cheer for storylines more so. Like, oh, this team or a player on that team battled through this. And so you're kind of like, oh, I hope something good happens to that player, so I hope his team wins. You know what I mean? Or like, oh, that player had a really good season, like dragged his team to the playoffs right now. I hope they continue going further. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You kind of start cheering more so for storylines. Or like Nashville last year. Oh, like they lost in the finals last year. I'd love to see them make a push there and win it this year, Stuff like that. I think
agree.
that I end up cheering more for when it comes to the playoffs when my team is out of it.
Yeah, I don't want to see any Toronto Raptors fans though being like, yeah, Golden State Warriors, I love these guys.
Yeah, that's garbage.
Get out.
Yeah, don't just hop on another bandwagon. If you want to go like, oh yeah, let's see what this team can do. I'm taking this team to the finals. That just makes it fun for yourself. But
Yeah, I always like seeing
like,
the
oh yeah,
underdogs.
I love this team better anyway. Like, hey, you're garbage. Get out of here.
Yeah, or like
No
when
bueno on that.
when the World Cup is on, you got your big Portuguese flag out and they lose, and all of a sudden,
The
what Portuguese
the
flag?
Italian flag
You're taking
comes
it
out.
down. Yeah, all of a sudden you're taking them down.
Yeah, no bueno.
Yeah, hold true to your convictions.
Anyway, he says, finish it off. Keep doing what you're doing and don't be afraid to try new things.
I'd say this podcast was a little off the rails compared to some of the other ones. So
Thanks for the entertainment sent via the internet.
we're getting broader and broader here, the internet,
Yeah.
as opposed to fan mail. We don't have a PO box.
We will try new things, I think. And like one of the things we talked about before, he brought up some interesting things in there, like ScruffCast post-game thing, which that it would be a little difficult to make that work, but that's something we can look into. And more so, because I think we do have a lot of people on here do enjoy sports. So we can do like our regular podcast, and then we can do a more sports-related one, because we're huge into sports, but we try to stay away from it on this podcast as much as we can. Because
some of our listeners aren't totally into it. One thing that sticks out to me, we could do some sort of like post-game or something related to the Stanley Cup Finals, because we're both way big into hockey. We know we have quite a few listeners who are as well. We don't exactly know what that would look like, but we could do something. If you have ideas, just like we said last week.
Yeah, send them our way.
We're kind of learning as we do this. Obviously, as you saw us struggle through the Waffle House segment. So email us, scruffcast@gmail.com, with feedback on what you like that we've been doing, what you don't like. Maybe you're from Tennessee and you don't like that segment. I don't know. Just let us know. What do you guys want?
Yeah, if you guys have any ideas for, like we talked about it last week, doing like special episodes of the podcast.
Yeah, even if it's things we don't really know what we're talking about. We delve into those topics like fashion. We do it. We do it for the listeners.
Just about 90% of everything we talk about, we don't know what we're talking about. So it wouldn't be a stretch for us to talk about anything else we don't know.
Pretty
about.
much.
And you can just hear us bumble through all these podcasts. It could be kind of fun. Podcasts, I'd crack my voice.
But if this is entertaining for you guys, then, tell us what you want to hear.
Yeah. All right. So, the end ramble. Here we go. Check us out on iTunes.
Yes, leave us a review. We already put out the call. We said leave a review. Hopefully 5 stars. Type out your little review comment. We'll read it out on the podcast. Maybe we'll even do an impression. But we've got no new reviews from you guys since we put out the call.
So check us out on iTunes.
If you are listening right now on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment. What'd you like? What didn't you like? Even if it's just, ha. We know you're out there.
Hit that subscribe button.
Yeah. Come on. Don't you want that sweet ScruffCast merch? Well, we need more listeners.
I know. Follow us on Twitter at ScruffCast. And finally, you can email us, which you guys have been doing a pretty good job with. We appreciate it.
I must commend you guys.
We appreciate all the emails. ScruffCast@gmail.com. Pretty simple.
There you go.
That's it. I think that's the end of this. We stumbled through it. We had some good times. We had some sad times,
But it was a journey. That's the ScruffCast for you.
That's it. Okay. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you next week.
Got me like, as I'm watching her go. All I'm thinking is, oh, damn, that bad thing. I can tell you're really good at distracting.